All right, so you already know the 50th anniversary of hip hop is rolling around, and it's a handful of people that I've known for years that I feel comfortable enough to discuss hip hop with. And one of those guys you see on the screen, if you're on social media, is my brother Fatman Scoop. What's up with you, man?
All good, man. All good. What's happening, bro? Talk to me.
All right, so Scoop, let's take it way back because, like in the past few years, I've known you a while, but in the past few years, I realized that you've been around. Like you were hanging out in Harlem back in the '80s when Teddy was still living in New York.
Yes, I was signed to Teddy Riley as an artist. I started out, I was one of the well-known rappers in my community. Myself, Rob Bass was there with me. Me and Rob Bass came from the same farm team, which is basically the Dougie Fresh, farm team.
Right.
And I was mentored by DJ Chillwell, who was Dougie Fresh's DJ, who still is Dougie Fresh's DJ. So myself and Rob Bass were there, we were two of the people who were in that farm team, and look at where we are now.
There you go. So I guess
I'm sorry, my bad. So anyway, I'm bugging. So anyway, being one of the rappers that was well known in Harlem, I knew Markel Riley. Markel Riley is Markel from Rex and Effect. I knew him from the street. He used to be an incredible dice player. And we used to play dice. And I mean, Markel was so good. He beat you with his dice and then beat you with your dice. Anyway, he knew that we used to rap, and he gave our tape to his brother because we used to hang out in the projects that they were from, which is St. Nicholas Projects, 129th and 8. And Teddy heard it, he signed me, and the rest was history.
Okay, so you put out a project?
I never got it out. I was the only person in GR Productions that didn't get to put a record out. Myself and a guy named Zan the Man. But Redhead Kingpin, Die, Today, Rex and Effect, all of them put out projects, but we were the last people to have a project. And right before we were about to put the project out, Teddy broke up with Gene Griffin. And then I went to Puff. And Puff wanted me to be the first Notorious B.I.G. He had this idea. He was like, yo, bro, keep rapping hard. I'm gonna put you in a suit and tie, and then we're gonna make songs for women. That's Biggie, right? So something in my heart and soul made me understand that even though I was rapping hard, I was dancing and performing like Dougie Fresh. I wasn't that guy. And something at the last minute told me not to do it. And I went into the music business, and here I am. I became who I was really supposed to be at the end of the day.
And when you say you went into the music business, I originally met you when I think it was before you went to Tommy Boy. It was after you put out. Wait, what was first? Did you put out Be Faithful first, or did you go to Tommy Boy first?
No, I went to Soldier. So what happened right after that happened with Teddy and Gene breaking up, I had to go get a regular job. So I was working at Mount Sinai Hospital. And one day I was in Mount Sinai Hospital, and I was getting written up a lot by my supervisor, a dude named Eddie Santiago. I never forget him, and I thank him, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And he kept writing me up, and I was just saying to myself, I was in the locker room crying, and I was like, yo, bro, this ain't for me, man. I can't take 20 more, 30 more years of this. And I said, you know something, I'm gonna go be an intern. And I knew Puff from being an artist. And I went to Puff and I said, yo, Puff, can I come down and be an intern? He said, yeah, come down on Monday. But right after that, I called a dude that I went to high school with, that was one of my high school friends that was already on. His name was Diamond D. His real name is Joe Kirkland, but his rap name is Diamond D. Incredible producer, Digging in the Crates crew, all of that. And I said, yo, bro, can I intern at your label? So he put me in touch with my man, Dow Lockhart, who became my mentor. I went down there, and every day at 3 o'clock, I used to work from 7 a.m. to 3, get off at 2 o'clock, take my lunch break, take a shower, and go down to the record label and work until 11 o'clock, go back to the Bronx. And I did that over for about a year and a half. Wound up being such a great intern that they found, Tommy Boy Records found me, and that's when they gave me a job. And then I did the whole Tommy Boy thing, met people like you, all the DJs across the country. And then my younger brother, Kendall, wanted to go to Hampton University.
Right.
And that's when I said, wait up, hold on. I can do this crowd participation because I heard DJ Cool doing it. I said, that ain't nothing but what Dougie and them taught us to do. And I went and made that record with the Crooklyn Clan. And I said, if I could do 100 shows at $500, I get the $50,000 up to get him through the first year at Hampton. Here we are 29 years later. And here we are 29 years later. And I mean, he came out on the road with me after he got out of school. He became the president of Maybach Music for about 5 years. He ran Maybach Music for Rick Ross. And now he's at Arista Records. He's the senior VP of A&R over there at Arista. And he's got a young lady named Lola Brooke. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. That's his record. That was just #1 not a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, he got rewarded. He did what he had to do. I got rewarded, and everything wound up being perfect in the end, man.
And what's really dope about it is, like, people who don't follow you on social media, you need to follow him, because, like, I can see Scoop at the crib doing a live on Monday. And then on Tuesday, there's a video of him waking up in Dubai to do a couple of parties. And then the next day, he's waking up in Japan doing a couple shows there. And then by Saturday, he's back at the crib, well, at least at one of his cribs, doing a live on Instagram again.
It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
All right, so with hip hop turning 50, man, and it being a blessing to both of us. Like, hip hop paid for everything we have. It helped us take care of our families.
Mm-hmm.
What was the plan B, man? Like, if that...
You want to hear something?
What's that?
There was no plan B. And I'm going to tell you, people, if you're going to do something, do it all the way. You can't turn back. It's like the general that wanted to ensure that his troops won the battle when they came to the country. He took the ships and he burnt them. And he said, you're here now. So you either take this over or you die. So you can't think about, if this don't work, I'm gonna do this. You gotta do this like nothing else is gonna work. There's no way that you can become successful at anything unless you put your heart, your soul, your time, and your dedication in. If you do something halfway, you're gonna get halfway results. And when I was a young man, growing up, all I did was rap on the mic, and on Fridays and Saturdays, go perform, in the places Dougie was performing or the local jams or whatever. I didn't even get into women until I was about 19, 20 years old, because my whole focus was that. But because I did that, I was able to catch up in a big way, in a way, I've overperformed, I guess. But my sole focus was that. And if your sole focus is not that, you're not gonna win. When people say, oh, I got this plan and I got this plan and I got this plan, a bunch of plans, you're not making sure you do this. But if you got one and you say, I'm either gonna do this or like 50 Cent, I'm gonna die trying, you usually gonna get to where you need to go.
All right, so y'all need to follow this guy, even if it's just to see that schedule that I've been telling you about. Plus, he's a very entertaining individual, not just on the stage, but in general.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And everything is Fatman Scoop. Like, his website, his Instagram, all of that is Fatman Scoop. So make sure you follow him, man.
Appreciate it. So funny, and I'm gonna leave on this note. Sometimes when people hit you on Instagram, they either have great things to say or they have bad things to say. And people say to me, oh, you a one-hit wonder. Well, I'm a one-hit wonder that wakes up in Osaka, Japan and go to sleep in Montana. I'm a one-hit wonder that wake up in New York and go to sleep in the south of France. I work 48 weeks a year for 29 years, except for the pandemic. I've been blessed to do this. And I might not be Quando Rondo or NBA Youngboy, but I'm telling you, if you go to my Instagram, you see, I'm out here, I'm moving way more than your average artist. I work every week. I'm blessed. I go all over the world, and hip hop has brought me there. And I was there at the inception of hip hop. So, maybe a couple of years after hip hop started, I was maybe 7 or 8. So I watched it from the park jams to Run DMC to where they said Hammer was selling out. I never thought Hammer was selling out. I was like, the man's selling Pepsi. Like, this is the biggest thing in the world. And now all of those things that we saw, those are just commonplace things. Like, you get a deal with Casamigos, you get a deal with this, you sell bubble gum, whatever it is. So we've grown so much. I just hope that, and please don't take this as I'm sounding like an old man or something, that we get off of the negative stuff and the beefing, because that stops the money. That you might not be smart enough to understand right now, but that stops the money, man. It stops the money, and it make people not want to deal with us. And also, we need to make better records. And the marketplace, and please don't take me as a hater or old man or whatever, because I don't care. I'm out here playing every record at all these clubs, and I'm mad because I do young clubs and old clubs. But the fact that we have not had a #1 hit song this year is indicative of what the marketplace feels about the quality of the music. And you know something? You could call it hate, you could call it whatever, but the numbers and the facts are never gonna tell a lie.